Hi, my name's David Mays. I'm the whiskey professor for Knob Creek and the small batch bourbons, and welcome to the Jim Beam culinary dinner this evening. At my old Kentucky home, Chef Tom Yates from Deshays in Lexington is serving 4 courses of some of the best food you'll ever eat.
At Christmas time, my aunt makes bread pudding every single year. And this is what she serves the family. Then she adds bourbon to it, and we eat that in the kitchen.
Absolutely some of the best bourbon you'll ever try. We're cooking tonight with Jim Beam White Label, Jim Beam Black Label, Basil Hayden Small Batch Bourbon, Booker's Small Batch Bourbon, and Knob Creek. Special guest this evening is Mr. Fred No, our 7th generation master distiller and Jim Beam's grandson, the gentleman who's in charge of all of our bourbon these days. What is a whiskey professor? People ask me all the time. I introduce myself and I say, well, I'm the whiskey professor. And they say, really? And I say, well, yes, that's my job title, and it's got to be true because I have a business card that says that. So it's got to be true, really. And they want to know how I became a whiskey professor. And I tell them years of study, starting about the middle of my college career. But no, that's not really the truth of it. I have studied extensively with Fred No, who's our master distiller currently, and Jerry Dalton, who was our master distiller previously. And I travel the country, teaching people and talking to people and educating people about what makes bourbon bourbon.
You'll notice the shapes of these bottles. This Basil Hayden is in a wine bottle, just like Booker's and Baker's. This is an old, like, apothecary bottle. And what that is in a tradition of years ago, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, we would deliver barrels to taverns. Okay? So the old Tavern would get barrels, and they would use whatever bottles. It wasn't until 1870 until bourbon was put into bottles. Before then, we'd go to the tavern, and if we were working barrel, they would just fill it up with whatever bottle they had. So it wouldn't have labels on it, it would just be that. So this is in that tradition of using whatever bottles are around.
We travel the country doing really whatever people need of us, whether it's hosting a dinner or educating a restaurant staff or educating the public at whiskey fests and tastings around the country. If you're interested and you really want to learn a lot more, you might try www.knobcreek.com. There's a place where you can actually get to us and you can send us emails with questions directly if you have questions about some of the products that we make, how they're made, why they're made a certain way. You might also try smallbatch.com. Cheers.
Visit bourbonblog.com for online video coverage, because the stories are more than just about bourbon. They're also about the spirit of the South. We only encourage responsible drinking by those who are of legal age to drink in their countries or regions. So be safe and be legal.